So, I don't know, sometimes I do these whispered, sometimes I do them soft-spoken. So I'm gonna do it kind of like this, due to the background noise, but I am gonna try something a little interesting, a little different, and I'm planning on actually, just, I'm planning on putting this through Audacity to try and maybe clean up some of the background noise and audio and see how that makes it sound. And I'm not huge on the idea for doing that on ASMR videos just because typically I've been using it, I've been doing stuff to make my voice sound a little nicer and to get rid of some background noise, but I feel like with ASMR I'd want most of the noises. Also, I'm kind of throwing this together a little faster because it's actually I'm recording this on March 1st, rather than recording it on February 29th. But it's for everything through February, so whatever. I just thought I would try to get this here and hopefully get it out either, late on the 1st or sometime earlier on the 2nd. So it's still, it's not, like in the end of the middle of the month and then feel like it's too late to do it. Because I like to do them at the end of the month for these, and the game collection updates, and then just have it be encompassing all of that. So, we'll see how it goes. But for starters, let's start real quick with some of these games that I got. So we've got, I've won Sonic the Hedgehog Episode 4 on Steam. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. I won that on Steam Gifts. So I have that, and I haven't tried it yet, but I will. I'm looking forward to doing it. Oh yeah, quick, the reason I was saying, wow, I'm real scatterbrained, but it's ASMR, it's fine. People aren't coming here for a super short and concise video. Anyways, in order to do that on my channel in general, but essentially, what I'm doing to save some time with this video then to make this go faster is I'm not using my mic this time either. That's why I'm thinking maybe if I try doing it on my camera with this audio, but put it through Audacity, maybe that'll be better, or at least okay, better than just doing the camera. We'll see. I feel like the camera mic is probably better on my other camera than the mic on this one, but I don't know. We'll see what goes on. Anyways, yeah, Sonic 4 Episode 1. I won it on Steam, and I don't have Episode 2, and I don't know if I'm going to get that or not. The plan right now is to stream that, probably, but I also might just play it on my own time. I don't know. Honestly, lately, streaming stuff has been kind of like I'm doing some, and I don't know what else to do. Like, there's so many games I want to start, and so many games I want to do for streaming, and there's games I like to replay for streams, and everything. It's hard to necessarily save a game to stream when I want to play stuff. And sometimes it's hard to, then I have to do it only when I'm on stream, and it's been kind of tough, so I've been kind of jumping into stuff and then not totally 100%ing it on stream, like Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I know I did that, and then that's like, I'll 100% this on stream, and then people kind of weren't watching as much, and I was getting a little bored with it. I was like, well, maybe I won't. So we'll see what goes on, but that, like, Mega Man X4 is one where it got really tough too. I don't know if I'm going to finish that on stream or not, or whatever, and we'll see what goes on with it. The plan is to do that, but I'm also playing around with the idea of using this camera as my webcam when I play PC games and using the capture card to do that. And I don't know if I like that as much either or not. I'm also experimenting with the idea of not using my webcam, just having the gameplay with my commentary on it, and just trying to play around with ideas to see will make streaming better and easier and whatever, or what have you. So, interesting tidbits to think about and hear about or whatever. The other second game here is Woodle Tree Adventures Deluxe, which I got on sale for like less than $1, I believe it was, on Switch. Because I played Woodle Tree Adventures and like on Steam, and it was pretty cheap on there, I believe. I don't know if I won it or if I just got it. I think I maybe just got it. And I liked it a lot at the time because there wasn't a whole lot of 3D platformer collectathon type games out there. which they've got some more of them now. Some of them are remakes, some of them are like, indie stuff, but there's some stuff out there, and I'm still hitting some other games. I still got plenty to go through. I did start playing Spyro in the Reignited trilogy, but I fell off with it a little bit. Got sidetracked by other things, so that's been an issue lately. Yeah, the deluxe version was supposed to have like better camera in it. Was one of the things it boasted. The camera seems about the same. Doesn't seem really much better. I beat the game in like one sitting, basically. I think. I don't even know if it was 2 sittings. I think it was all. I know it was all in one day. I don't know if it was even 2 sittings. It was like I want to say like 4 hours maybe, something like that. Anyways, well, I beat it already, so review will be coming of that eventually. A little behind on those too. Quest of Dungeons, I believe I won that on Steam. If I remember right, that's like kind of like a roguelike shooter thing, sort of. I remember seeing it a ton of times, and I think I eventually just won it on Steam Gifts finally, after seeing it for years. But I haven't tried it at all yet. But I have it. I also got, very recently I got Shalnor Legends, which was on sale for like roughly $1 on Switch. An indie game, and it looked basically looked to me like sort of Zelda ripoffy, like pixel graphics. It basically kind of looked like a pixel graphics budget version of something like It'll Do. And since I like It'll Do, and I like Zelda games, and like it was that cheap, I was like, yeah, I'll probably end up playing at some point. So I broke down and grabbed that. I also got on the Switch Mega Man Zero and Mega Man ZX collection. It'd been up there for a while, and I had like stuff left over from eShop, cards and stuff. I went to get it, and I thought, because they had a pre-purchase thing. It was like, oh, you get these like songs or whatever from it, and I figured I'll wait for it to launch and see if there's a launch sale. So I won't necessarily get that stuff, but if it's on sale when it launches, it'd be better. Didn't go on sale when it launched. I was like, well, fuck, I've been waiting for it anyway. I'll just get it. Even though I guess I could have waited, but so like I do have plans to hit that. So I have a lot of Mega Man games to hit that I still want to hit. And once I get more back into a Mega Man mood and to a groove for them, I'll probably, especially once I beat X4, I think I'll probably be a little bit easier. I've got all the stuff on the X collections to do, that's the last one on the first collection, and there's like 4 on the next one, I think. And then I've got Mega Man and Bass. I got to finish playing that. I got the Mega Man Battle Network games. We got like I think I have 1, 2, and 3 right now available to me. And then I've got 1 and 2 on the Wii U Virtual Console, and then I have 3 physically. And then I'll have these ones as well to go through. So like, still making my rounds on all those Mega Man games. Oh, and Mega Man 11, I also have that on Switch. So, and Mega Man Legacy, it's the regular Mega Man Legacy Collection too. I have on Steam. So I have a lot of Mega Man stuff to hit still. Even though I feel like I've hit a lot of Mega Man games already, there's still so many more to go through, and I'm excited. That'll be cool. I guess before we go too much further, I should maybe address the elephant in the room. I've got an Xbox One S over here now, which I'm pretty sure is new. And the reason I got this is, see, what happened was this is actually my first update in 2020. Hey, my TV, my other TV crapped out on me, and basically was doing this thing where like the picture wasn't coming in anymore, and so I was like, well, shit, I need to be able to see. Actually, recording the ukulele review, during recording that, actually the camera, the TV went out and blank, and thankfully, my Elgato capture card is using USB 3.0. It's got the instant, the connection is so fast with it that I was able to look at the computer and finish recording that. I didn't have to re-record the whole thing. So that was cool that I could just look on the computer to finish it. My TV the sound was going, but none of the picture would come in at all. And it wasn't just messed up on the system. None of the menus on anything at all on the TV would show up. I could hear it; it was doing the things, but it wouldn't show anything. And it had done that a couple times before. And I would just shut it off for a while and then turn it back on, and then it was fine. But this time, the last time I did that or whatever, it was days of just I couldn't get any picture out of it. And so I actually dug out a little TV, and I've got it sitting over at my computer desk over there. I'm not going to move the camera around for this. Sorry for that. Maybe it's in a different video. I don't know if it is yet or not. Maybe I'll show it in the next update or something if you guys are curious. I don't know. I just thought the shot was easy. But I took out this little TV that I had used in my dorm, and it's I think it's 19-inch or something. It's not that big. It's a little LCD screen from probably 2011, maybe it's even slightly older, older model at the time we got it or something. Actually, might be a little bit older, slightly older yet. Whatever. It's still pretty thin or whatever, but it's clearly a bit of an older TV. Works fine. I remember having problems with the PS3 back when I had it in my dorm, but I hooked the Switch up to it. The Switch worked fine. So I was watching YouTube and stuff off of that, and playing a little bit of Switch on it. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And now I just have it by the desk so I can potentially use it for any really easy streaming TV. Though so far, when I've streamed some other stuff, I've streamed off of this new TV. But I ordered the new TV and got an upgrade for it, and so the TV is a 42-inch. It's a QLED. I was going to get an OLED. I was actually going to get a smaller TV to fit up here, but I realized a bigger one would fit if I get the center stand with it. But there weren't any this big with the center stand. They had little side legs on them. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I have to get a smaller one. But then I thought, wait, and there's universal stands you can get that go into the back for the wall mount. So I got one of those. I ordered the TV, and yeah, like I said, I wanted to get an OLED because I was looking up what is the difference between these TVs, QLED and the OLED, and it's OLED sounds better in most ways, so I want to get one of those. But I can't because the smallest of those is 55-inch. So I was okay, well that's not gonna work. The QLEDs, and I think also both of these are you can only find LEDs are only produced by LG, I think it is, and the QLEDs are only by Samsung. So I got a QLED TV because it was at least could be small enough to do this, and it's all nice features of it. It was a bad time also because I think it was in January, maybe it was early February, something like that when I got it. I think it was the middle of January or something. So it was also after Christmas shopping and other shit, and I didn't really want to have to spend my money right away, so that sucked. But it also sucked because looking up online, I was this is the worst time to buy a TV because the new models aren't out yet, so you're still going to be paying whatever prices for these models that are going to be replaced, in a few months or something. But I didn't want to go that long without a TV either. And it was going to be an upgrade since that was an older TV. We had that in the living room or something before, and I just got it because they got a different TV in the living room, and it was hey, this is has a DVD player built into it and stuff, So my TV is a 42-inch Samsung QLED TV. It can do 4K also, and it's got 4 HDMI slots on it. So I have my stuff hooked up. It's actually a smart TV, but I haven't actually activated any of the smart features yet, so I've just been using stuff through other things, my cable box does stuff. I'm using YouTube through that mostly for apps. And then got my Switch and the 64 hooked up to it. in the cable box, and then the fourth thing is the Xbox One S. And the reason I got the Xbox One S was because I was looking for, well, if this is like this, like I said, the other TV had a player built into it, the DVD player. Well, I want something to play DVDs on this also, because I have DVDs. And I figure while I'm at it, as long as I have to upgrade the stuff, I kind of want something that can do, DVDs and Blu-ray, and play stuff in 4K, be like a 4K player, so I can take advantage of my 4K TV. And I was looking up stuff, and most of the stuff that was like, oh yeah, it's a good, like decent 4K players were like around $200 anyways, right? For the ones that weren't getting reviews that were like, hey, it broke or whatever after a few months or something. But then I was looking up like a list of like what are some really good ones to get, and Xbox One S comes up. Apparently, which I didn't know they could play stuff in 4K, or that they played Blu-rays or anything like that. I never really knew that it did that. And again, it was like around $200 also. So it's like, well, it can't game in 4K, but if I wanted to game in 4K, I'm looking at a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X, both of which are going to be probably twice this or something, right? I don't want to spend that much on one of those. So basically, I'm going to get a 4K player out of this that plays Blu-rays and DVDs, while having an awesome side feature of being able to play, video games, specifically like being able to play like Xbox games, and especially with some backwards compatibility stuff they have in their shops and whatever, and the fact that I haven't really ever owned a Microsoft console. I've played on some, but I've never owned any. I figured that's probably a pretty good deal to have then, the ability to play some of these other games. It also helps as like a little kind of like a filler piece of like, there's lots of stuff, if it's on the Switch, I'd rather get it on the Switch, because then I can also play in handheld if I want to. I think the Switch is really convenient. And then there's some stuff, there's basically like for stuff that I can't get on Switch, or I can't get cheaper on Steam that'll run on my computer. So if something is going to be a bit beefier than it would be on the Switch, not available on the Switch, mostly if it just isn't available on the Switch, I guess, not on the Switch, and too beefy to run on my laptop, I'll have the Xbox One S do it, and then it'll be built for it, and it should work fine. And so I like that. And like I got this, I don't know how well that's gonna show up on that there, but the corners up here, the corners are kind of weirdly rounded. I feel like that either this is a used unit that they've resealed, or it just wasn't packaged very well, or was kind of roughed up when it was being shipped or something, because I don't think the corner is supposed to be slightly rounded like that. The pictures of it everywhere I've seen are not supposed to look like that. So I'm pretty sure that got a little messed up. But also like the noise, which again, if you might still even hear it right now, but if I do the Audacity thing and tweak the audio, you might not hear it. It might be sort of out. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I can always hear the fan on this thing while it's on, kind of rattling, and I don't think it's supposed to make that sound. Maybe it is. I'm guessing it's not, though. Which again makes me feel like maybe this was a used one, or possibly like something was wrong with it or something. I don't know. But so far it's worked fine, so I haven't had like problems with it yet. It also annoyingly doesn't come with the stand I have under the bottom here. So like you can use it sideways, but I had tried to find a good spot and I really couldn't with the space I had available for what I was doing. I was gonna put it up on the dresser up here with where the TV is, maybe, or try to get it behind or something. And actually, hooking shit up was actually sort of a pain in the ass too. And like, I guess I didn't follow through on that bit of the story. I found that if you get like a universal stand, you can use it to take advantage of the wall mount, however the Visa wall mount holes in the back. And I got one of those stands, and it took forever to do little shitty like wrench things, whatever, and screws and stuff they give you. I got all that hooked up, and then when I was hooking up to the TV finally, basically the part on the back, they didn't have it cut out properly for this TV, so it was pushing it and making it tilt way up, and it wasn't actually connected properly, because the screws, the spacing of them didn't go through the holes on the back. And so I was worried it was gonna break and probably wouldn't work. So what I did, was order a different one that looked like it had more space around the back. And then I had to put that one together and had to wait to get my TV up there. I got the TV turned on and vaguely set up with some of the settings and whatnot, just not the smart TV feature parts of it. And then I tried to put it up there with just the legs, and it didn't fit like I thought it wouldn't fit. The other thing comes in, and put that stand together, and that stand fitted, and it worked, and I got it up there, and it's good. And putting the HDMI things are a pain in the ass, because I had to then reach around, plugged in really awkwardly, and it's really close to the wall, so I had to use my phone and turn the camera on my phone, and I actually had to take a light and put a light back there, and then use the phone so I could basically get around, say this is the edge of the TV here. I had to kind of put it up here, and so it wouldn't touch the wall, between the TV and the wall, the small gap there, and then have the light back there so I could see from where I was the actual holes for the HDMI things, and then try to put them in while reaching over it. It was a pain in the ass. Sucked. Not everything's in though, it's fine. And then for capture card stuff, what I do is I unplug shit from the console, and then I plug that into the HDMI out in the capture card, and then the HDMI in. I use that. I leave the one HDMI cable plugged into the HDMI in on the capture card and plug that into the console, and that's how I get the footage, so I don't have to deal with going back there every time. And anyways, what I was saying about this thing though, is it doesn't come with this little stand to stand it upright, and you're supposed to have this so it creates a little bit of a gap so you can it can suck in air, and it has a gap to suck in and push out air from there. So I had to separately buy the stand, and then I got it came with the Xbox One X controller, which runs on AA batteries, or Xbox One S controller that runs on AA batteries, and it can run on a rechargeable battery. It's kind of nice, I guess, in the sense that you can switch batteries in if you want, or if you want it to be rechargeable, you can get rechargeable ones you actually aren't tied to. And you can just get separate batteries you charge and then put into there normal AA batteries, I suppose. But the official charging pack and the cord to do it, to make it a wired controller, or to just have it have rechargeable batteries like that, it's something you had to buy separately for $25. But I did get one of those, so I wouldn't have to just keep sinking batteries into the thing all the time. But I also wanted to get something for just having another controller and for a backup, and just a solution to that problem, which is why you're seeing this awesome fancy controller here, which I'm probably going to do a full review on it eventually, but it's the Power A Spectra enhanced wired controller, so it actually does have to be wired. And I loved the way these edge, the rim lights or whatever, the way those lights look are just fucking sweet. There's a button on the back where you can hit, and you can keep cycling through 7 colors, or one of the settings is to have it cycle through colors like this, which I just love, and I leave that on all the time because it looks so good. I wish it lit up the letters in here, but it doesn't, so when it's dark, you can't really see those, I don't know. It's just hard to see. But the finish on the front looks really nice. It just feels really good. And it's wired, so you have to have it plugged in. But I'm never super far away. It's got a pretty long cord, and it's like a stringy cord. It's got this to wrap the cord up so you can Velcro around that, or you can take this totally off if you want to, whatever. The D-pad actually feels a little bit nicer than the one that came with it, because the other one feels like really clicky, like buttony. Like it's almost like a plastic piece over buttons. This just feels like an actual D-pad. Everything else feels pretty comparable for the most part. I don't really like these buttons on the back. You can program them to, like, basically you hold down the program button that's up here, and then, oh yeah, there's a LED button to switch those, and you can turn the lights off if you want, but who wants to do that, right? What a waste. But you, like, basically hold that for a few seconds, and you, like, hold, like, a button, and then, like, push, like, one of these. So basically you can remap any button to one of these buttons. But I feel like I accidentally hit them sometimes, and I don't want anything on them, so I just don't. I don't do anything with that, and so it works fine without having those as anything. And I've pretty much just using this the whole time since I got it, because it looks really awesome and it's cool and it feels nice. And interestingly, it's by like most of the Power A stuff I've seen. It's like I basically thought they were just like making budget controllers. This was like $40, which also this I guess would work for the PC and stuff too, like whatever, because it just has like the USB connection, so it's pretty handy to use for whatever. But like, it definitely looks a lot nicer than like the Afterglow ones that just look like they stuck a bunch of Christmas lights in them and whatever. These lights look really cool, but also like 40 seems like a lot for like a budget controller, but it's still less than like a first party controller would be. So I think it's like weirdly like a premium budget controller. It's really really nice. I really like it. And just having stuff like with 3 colors like this looks cool. So anyways, the reason I brought that up is because the other few games I got are on here. And one of those games is I was looking on there, and I guess what I got was the rebooted Star Wars Battlefront by EA. Because there was an EA publisher sale. I basically, once I got this, I was like, I want to see if this like how this works or whatever. And it was like right when I plugged it in, or actually it was when I had the battery charger. That's what it was. I got the rechargeable battery thing, and I plugged it in, and I didn't even hit anything yet. I just plugged it in, and all of a sudden it turned my system on and it switched to it. So I was like, well, as long as it's already on and I'm here, I'll look at the store. And I got, it's like that was what was on sale. And so it was like $5 for that. And I played a bit of that with my friend, and I was like, well, that was fun, so. And I'm sure my computer can't play it. So I was like, well, I'll play it, and like, I don't have any intention of paying extra money for stuff. So like $5 for that is probably not going to be too bad of a deal. But we'll see. We'll see how fun it is, I guess. And then like out of curiosity, I looked for like the old Star Wars Battlefront, and they had that. Which I guess I played that back on PS2, but that came out on Xbox as well. The one by Pandemic Studios from 2004. And they had backwards compatibility, which is like really, really cool. But also a lot of them you can just buy them on there as well. And as far as I understand it, the backwards compatibility doesn't run off of the old games. All it does is make it so that you can go and access them for free, essentially, once they're on there if you have the disc. As far as I understand it. Because you've already bought it at that point, which that's really awesome. That's really really cool. I'm glad they added in backwards compatibility stuff to the Xbox One. That's real happy about it. So I got that, and I was going to get it, and I was like, well, how much is this? You know, something like, oh, it's probably like a few bucks, whatever. I'll get that. I played that a shitload, and I'll probably like playing it again. And I went and like I downloaded it and it said it was free. I was like, that's weird. Does that mean like it only works if I have the actual game, or what's this gonna do? But I was like, no, like I had it, and it's this thing where they have games with gold. Or essentially because I got the gold membership so I could play online or whatever. I was like, okay, well, every so often they put up some games for the Games with Gold thing, and if you install them, then you just have them, and you've got them for free. And throughout the year, you get like so many dollars worth of games if you get all of them. A couple other that were on there I don't think I was really interested in, so I actually didn't bother getting them. And also because that's like a memory thing where it's like I just don't want to eat up a bunch of space on here with shit I'm not going to get to, or I'm not really interested in. But I did this, and apparently this was one of like the 3 games that was like being offered right at the time I was looking. So I was like, what a coincidence. And I streamed a little bit of it already. I actually went through all of the campaign stuff. I did that like on stream. So I got that beat. And review pending. I also, the last stream I went to do of that, I went to do a stream of more of the Galactic Conquests, and I was getting very upset with how horribly it was going. Plus, my stream kept going out for, I don't know why, it just like kept falling and then trying to resume, and basically it were like 16 videos or something of like, part 3 of me playing Star Wars Battlefront, and it was like the audio seemed okay, but like the video was super choppy and it kept cutting out, and so I just deleted all those, and I was like, well, I guess it's not working. And that was not a fun time this weekend, but I felt super soul crushed after that. But I actually was looking up stuff on Battlefront, and there was a Nintendo DS one. I knew there's also one that was just on PSP, which I think is Renegade Squadron, but then there's also one that was on that and the DS called Elite Squadron. So I ordered a copy of that. We'll see how that is. But yeah, it actually looks, Star Wars Battlefront, that looks really nice on here too. Just like, I think it's because it's upscale, it looks like really nice. Just really smooth and like crisp, and like, yeah, there's stuff that still looks like kind of blurry because it just, that's the quality of the texture, but like, it looks really nice. And also like, oddly on here, I've kind of noticed this TV does things where sometimes if stuff is like normally, I've noticed things that would be like kind of blown up would be kind of blurry, and you would notice it's like kind of blurry or like kind of like pixely and stuff. On here, it seems to like not do that, the way this like processes the image or something, where stuff just looks kind of like blotchy and kind of like you use the posterize effect in Windows Movie Maker. The posterize effect, whatever, like it looks kind of like that, kind of like, or like the watercolor effect or something. It looks kind of weird. So that's a thing. So I've got those Battlefront games, and then I've also got Rare Replay. And this is actually the thing that really sold me on the idea of getting an Xbox One in general. Funny story, looking at the Xbox systems, there's Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X. Now, obviously I wasn't going to get the X because that was going to be really expensive just to also game in 4K, and I didn't need that. The original Xbox One doesn't do stuff and doesn't play video content in 4K, nor does it do the Ultra Blu-rays or whatever, so I was like, I don't know if I want that then either. That wasn't even on the list. Interestingly, there is an Xbox One S digital version where it's pretty much this. I think it might be a bit cheaper. It just doesn't have a disc drive, which sucks because I guess like, if you're gonna get all digital games, sure, like that might seem like a fine idea. But if you're gonna use it as a video player, you can't put any DVDs or Blu-rays in there. So it all has to be digital content for your videos as well. So that wasn't gonna fly anyway. I thought that was kind of nuts because I didn't hear anything about that variant. But this thing really interested me because it has Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts on it, which I know sounds fucking crazy, but I played Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Obviously, there's a lot of games on here, like I've got Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Perfect Dark. I've played Blast Corps. I've actually owned Blast Corps before. I think I may have played a little bit of Killer Instinct Gold. I definitely played Killer Instinct. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I have Jet Force Gemini, Perfect Dark. Something else I'm forgetting that I already had on here. Maybe. I guess I have a version of Jetpack already. So there's a lot of stuff on here that I'm familiar with, or I've played already, or a lot of them I already own. But there's some on here that I haven't. I don't know much about either, and those are pretty interesting. There's not a whole lot I'm really not interested in necessarily in checking out on here. Aside from, I think there was something. I think there's one game on here where I was like, I don't know if I'm really interested in that. But, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Although I think saying there's 30 hit games in one Epic collection is not necessarily fair to say. I don't know if all of these were hits, but, okay. Oh yeah, Slalom, that was the one. I've seen Slalom before. I'm not really interested in playing Slalom, but I probably will try it. And then, but yeah, Nuts and Bolts, because I played Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie and Grunty's Revenge. And I've still been playing bits and pieces of Banjo Pilot. So this is the only Banjo-Kazooie game I haven't played. I've also played Ukulele, I got the review of that. So Nuts and Bolts is one where I'm pretty excited to actually play it and have my own personal opinion on it rather than just looking at what other people have said. And then there's lots of other cool stuff to check out on here. Though weirdly, when I went to put this on there, I had to download a bunch of stuff and install things. So it was I put the game in, and then it was I had to install Rare Replay itself, and then a bunch of the Xbox 360 versions or whatever, which maybe was the Xbox 360 live arcade stuff or something. A lot of those got just downloaded as separate things weirdly onto the system. So I don't know what that's about, but I'll likely replay Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie through this anyways, and some of the other games and check them out. I might not stream them through it necessarily, but maybe, I might choose to stream some of my stuff through the 64 first, since I have it. And I like my 64. And I got stuff to test on there anyway, so I got Rare Replay, though. So I just immediately caught a backlog when I got my system. Kind of exciting. And then the other thing, I guess, to bring up is my Games Beat for 2020. Up until this point, the games we got for Games Beat this year. Ukulele was right at the beginning of the year. I got that review out already. Woodle Tree Adventures Deluxe. So that review's coming. The Game Review Portable, which is 220 games, but I only counted it as one. So that took me a lot of time, and I wanted to get it out. Once it came to my head, I was like, oh, I want to get it out in time for February 20th, and it's 2/20/2020, and there's 220 built-in games. I thought it was great. And it was hard to get it done in time. So the written review for that was 96 pages of written text. And then I put that on there, plus I had 2 pictures of everything. And I got that. The written review was just a massive, comprehensive guide to this thing that no one's going to give a shit about. And the video review is just talking about the system in general, and it's half an hour still, I think, but it's long. I also did a really close to that on the 19th. Right? Yeah, so the 19th was my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, just being on YouTube, so I had a video for that. That was really long to do. And on the 14th, I put up a video to do a Valentine's thing. It was of Sakura Angels, another game I beat. It's a visual novel, but I'm counting it because it was on Steam out of the games category, so it's at least on there. And I went through it again and got all the gallery images and whatnot, so I'll count it. Why not? I deserve it. I'm only counting Game Review Portable as one. I can count that as one also. I think that's a fair trade. And the Star Wars Battlefront, like I mentioned, and I'm considering that beat just because Third Galactic Conquest, I can do an instant action, but it's replaying kind of the same stuff I've already done. And the Galactic Conquest is, or the historical campaign is the actual little story mode and like going through all the battles, going to all the places, playing with all the units and whatever. So, while I might play a bit more before I review it, I pretty much get the gist of it. I've played it a bunch before. I've gone through it. And then the other one is Rogue Legacy, which I've beaten before, but it's the Switch version, and I think most of that was just this month even. Mostly a lot of that, where it was like, I finally went through it, beat all the bosses, whatever, and then the 4 main bosses beat the last boss, and then I beat all the remix bosses. Like, just tonight, I managed to finish beating all of the remix bosses, all 5 of them, which is something I've never done before, thanks to the additions they've made. You can, from the, like, updates, whatever, they made it more doable, and so I did it. So yeah, I beat Rogue Legacy again, and it's great. And I think it was like maybe 70 hours or something. So yeah, but I think that's all the games I beat. Looks like. I think that's really all there is to mention. I'm looking forward to doing like. Basically, my idea too is to do some reviews of things like controller reviews, like look at some of those. Probably not as real person reviews, but like do some of those. I want to stream more like a N64 stuff. I want to stream Dark Souls. A lot of games I want to like stream and play and do, and there's just a lot of things I want to. A lot of games I want to finish, so I'm sort of all over the place with them. So hearing thoughts and suggestions and all that stuff is good. Actually, just today started. For like a side game, I've started Pokemon Leaf Green, which I got a little while ago. So I'm finally starting that. Now that I really need to review that after reviewing Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. But, I mean, if Game Freak wants to keep making Gen 1 games, I might as well keep reviewing them, right? And the other thing is that I actually finally got rid of the mobile game Pokemon Masters, which I was liking, but then they kept adding stuff, and it was just going to basically demand too much time and something that I'll never be caught up on, and they'll keep adding stuff, and it's one of those where it's becoming too demanding for a game that I'm not really actively playing as just a main game I'm playing, and so I think it kind of killed itself for me with that. Plus, I kind of want a game to be done when I get it, and the fact that they keep adding things that keep altering the game so much, it's off-putting and annoying, and I don't know. I don't really want to keep up with the game. I want to be like, here's a game, and I'm like, okay, let me get this game, and I'll play this game, and that's really not what's going on here. So, whatever. But yeah, I got some controller review concepts to do, and I don't know. More games are coming, more stuff to play, more stuff to review, more stuff to stream. Let me know about what you want to see and whatever, and what you thought was cool. And if you have any suggestions for stuff that's like good Xbox exclusive stuff, maybe throw that in there too. That would be good for the comments, just because like at this point what I'm thinking is I would like to have something like maybe like the Master Chief Collection to get like a bunch of those Halo games, because I played a little bit of those again years ago, so it would be cool to actually play through them at my own pace, playing by myself, so that would be fun. So I've been kind of eyeballing that, and not a whole lot else. I think maybe a couple things I looked at, but suggestions are cool, and other games and what you want to see for reviews and for streams and how you want to see streams done and all that stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes on, how things go. But I'm trying not to burn out on some of these games. I'm trying not to game hop too much. And I want to make sure that when I review stuff like some of these controllers and stuff, whatever the ideas of this will be really fun to talk about these. But I also want to spend enough time with something before I review it so I don't regret things I'm saying later after using it a bit more and be like, now I found out about this thing. So I'm still working on the balance between, having enough time with something and also actually getting a review of things out. Because as we've seen with games, sometimes I am so dedicated to playing as much of it as I can that sometimes what's happening is I'm just dumping a bunch of hours into something that basically that time it's not really changing my opinion of it anymore. Nothing new is really happening. And while I can't know that until I put that much time into it, sometimes I can make a pretty good guess on it. I don't know. So I've been working on that, but that's what I got there. Oh yeah, I also played a little bit of ARMS. You know that game that came out around the time the Switch came out and no one talks about anymore? I played a little bit of that. With a friend, even. And I'll probably give it a few more chances at least. But first impressions after playing it for a few hours are, I don't like it. So, we'll see if that changes. I doubt it. But again, I would like to know. So, that'll be interesting. Alright, I think that's all the things I had to talk about and bring up. It's a really cool set piece. I just really like that controller a lot too. I'm glad I put it in the background. Sorry that this thing makes noise the whole time. And have